Okay, dreamer please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be looking at the new update notice which includes Fenrir and Gallaudet's remake. And I know there's a lot of hype for Fenrir, so let's quickly take a look at his skill set. His skill set is pretty interesting, I would say. Not the most expected, I even hesitated to make a video talking about it. Why? Because it looks pretty weird. Okay, so for his passive, he survives on 1 HP. Okay, that is something that is pretty meta right now because you see that there are a lot of heroes in the arena meta using the Dark Knight jewel that provides the 1 HP survival. And that also includes the immortal heroes, right? So there's a lot of 1 HP survival going on right now. And I think again, as long as you have this condition to survive on 1 HP, the Berserker Ring is going to have full effect at that point. Okay, he also recovers HP equal to 50% of physical attack every turn, so that is some insane healing capability. We have never ever seen such a heal buff on an offensive hero before. Again, it goes very well with the Berserker Ring because the Berserker Ring works such that at the lowest point of HP, the attack boost is the maximum. So, if you have the Berserker Ring on him, he's pretty much going to heal back to full health at that point if he uses a skill. If he uses a skill, of course, right? And then for his third line, he says all allies become immune to HP control effect. So this immediately kills off Mist. Mist is no longer gonna be able to do HP swap. Okay? Direct counter to Mist. More like a check for Mist. So if you are going to consider putting him in the team and not sure who to take out, you can definitely take out Mist. He also increased lethal rate for all allies by 50%. So this is a very, very crazy buff as well. It is on a passive, it's not even on a skill. Okay, so you can actually use him in PVE as well if you like. Lethal rate increased by 50% is something that is not seen at all, so his entire passive is pretty much very, very fresh. However, for his skills, okay, he has very long cooldown, and he deals attack 300% to 4 enemies, deals greater damage to the higher the enemy's defense, and causes the target to bleed. So, if an enemy somehow in future has celestial armor, he's gonna do more damage. Even now, he's definitely gonna do more damage to Suitor, to universal heroes who kind of have more defense already. So it is a defense kind of stat based damage application, and he also has 100% bleed. So also decreases buff duration by 1 turn, and this is copied and pasted to the second skill. So interruption over here. Halfway when developing this video, I was told that they updated the skill set for Fenrir, and the second skill actually now deals 300% to 3 enemies, and also the target cannot block attacks for 3 turns. So this completely nullifies block, which is something similar to what we had before the reboot. And I was thinking that such mechanics could come back, and it also ignores defense. So I think this will definitely be dealing a lot of damage even for defensive heroes. Ultimately, he serves his purpose as an offensive hero, basically. But that said, his awakened skill is still pretty much the buff version of the first skill, except that it doesn't cause bleed, but it causes paralyze. So the percentage chance to actually land debuff and statuses is increasing with every single hero, and that also emphasizes the importance of the celestial accessory that removes debuffs every 3 turns. Okay, so if you are thinking of which accessory to get next, I think you should really get that one, because you can see that there are so many statuses just from Fenrir himself. Bleed and guaranteed bleed actually, and paralyze. And bleed, of course, Mist also has bleed, so he's definitely gonna replace Mist without a doubt. He also increases crit, hit and lethal damage of all allies by 50% for 6 turns when he uses his second skill. So this is something similar to Mist's awakened skill as well, except that Mist is on an awakened skill, so she can only use it once. But for Fenrir, he can use it again and again and again, and this even makes me think that, you know, he can kind of replace live streamer scope in all situations, because of all these very good buffs that he can provide Velika for, and his lethal damage buffs equal to what live streamer scope can provide as well. The only thing is he cannot heal like live streamer scope, and that's the only difference that you have. But everything else I think can match up to live streamer scope. So, you know, players who do not have live streamer scope probably don't have to feel that bad. So he is definitely both a PvE and PvP unit. You do get the Isabella's Vigor if you max him out, which is great. Next we move on to Gallaudet remake. So it's not really a remake from what I can see, okay? It is really just a buff, an addition of 2 lines in his skill set. He only has this additional line, which is PvE mode increased physical damage by 600%, which means his total damage output here is going to be 800% on 3 enemies, and also ignores defense and also decreases their physical and magic attack. So definitely a PVE DPS. As you can see, the cooldown, okay, the cooldown here is 70 seconds, which is like Shane and Velika. So he's definitely a PVE DPS without a doubt right now, and AoE DPS. He keeps his bottom skill, I think, top skill, and then for his awakened skill he also gains increased damage by each empty slot on the enemy team. So this is of course best used when you have killed off most of the enemies, so don't use this too early, okay? So I would say that, you know, in Heavenly Stairs you can save the awakened skill until much later when maybe 3 of the enemies are down, so the damage increase will be 450% and the total output will be 750%, ignoring defense as well. Not sure if the freeze can happen in PvE because I don't think they can be affected by, you know, status effects, but then he will, you know, just be a very strong damage dealer without much utility. So I'm not sure if he can compare to Milia, because Milia has that chain attack, AoE chain attack, and also a buff duration reduction, right? But I think they want to include him in the PvE, you know, narrative, so that players, free-to-play players who are now getting more Gallaudets, who have more accessibility to Gallaudets, can actually participate in the Heavenly Stairs as well, instead of just leaving it to a very old school Shane team, like even for me. So definitely something to consider using from now on. Next we have item rate 8th floor expansion. So this says that it is more difficult than existing rates, so please establish a strategy. From the skill set of Stormwing, okay, it pretty much looks the same. He may get a very crazy stat boost, we don't know, okay? 400% ignore defense, increased skill cooldown. I mean, based on what we read here, it looks the same as level 7, I would say, okay? But, you know, level 8, we all know that for level 8, their stats tend to be very much increased, their HP, their attack and defense, so it could definitely take a longer time to complete this, but you do get this new thing called Typhoon Essence. Now I will be very annoyed if this is just another item to store in your inventory, because it is just so full already. So if they're gonna make more of these, I hope it's really just a currency and not a material that you store in your inventory, not an item, okay? And with Typhoon Essence you can synthesize, and from the looks of it, it does look like it's an item actually, because you need to use it for synthesis, and so far everything that you use for synthesis, you know, except gold, is drawn from your inventory. So that's another material item that we need to store and we need to make more space for. So 10 of the Typhoon Essence will give you a Celestial item ticket once a month. So it's just a ticket, by the way, so you don't know what you will get. But I guess that, you know, varies up the playing field. Guild War ban heroes, and then with siege defense stuff. Heavenly Stats is renew again. I think for this week. Is it this week? Yeah, for this week. Again, very basic buffs, nothing too crazy. They have totally removed all the stun and paralyze and bleed and whatnot, which they used to do. I think it just makes us have an easier time, which is great. And then next week you'll have death debuffs again. Again, death debuffs, which means Gallaudet will come into very good play here. Rewards, nothing changed. Still pretty much the same. You still get the Berserker Ring. Okay, so they have added the webtoon into the game, which means you can actually check out on additional lore, which is very nice for a lot of players who do love the Seven Knights story. Brand and Brawn are added to the Topaz shop, which is great because I need one more copy. And then this is just some compensation. Fenrir check-in. So Fenrir's check-in is also a push reward. So I'm not sure, but it seems like they are doing away with regular check-ins or something like that. There is a strict 12-hour period only per day, I think. Yeah, but you do get wolf tokens, which again, it's greatly similar to all the previous times when new heroes were out and then they have a special accessory. So we'll take a look at the wolf tokens and how they should be used later on. But basically you get celestial accessory tickets, you get a lot of accessory tickets, and you also get rubies and hero tickets. So try to log in every day. I think they see that players actually did log in during the past 1-2 weeks for the push check-in event, the very good push check-in event with the Berserker Ring one. So I think they're just gonna continue doing this, which is pretty smart, I would say. Okay, and then yes, this is the 7-day carnival. Please remember to do it because you can get Gallaudet from here for free. And then you have special dungeon, of course, which I will go through later. You will get wolf tokens, which is this thing. And then clear tips, send heroes who can deal with the decreasing buff duration effect, prevent bleed effect, and challenge. So definitely from this I would say that his skill set is not an error. They really just made it to be the same effect, which is kind of disappointing, I would say, because at least change it up a bit, right? Not copy and paste exactly the same words and same amount. So with wolf tokens, we can actually get event accessories again, 8 wolf tokens. Okay, you get 4 from the push check-in already, so you just have to do another 4 days, and then you can get 1 wolf fang. So this event is going to last for 2 weeks. The dungeon, I would say, also lasts for 2 weeks, correct? So if you do this every day, you will get 14 wolf tokens, and you'll get 18 in total. 18 in total, which means for free-to-play players you can get 2 of the Wolf Fang tickets, which is pretty decent, I would say. Actually it's the same as before, because last time we can also exchange for 2 special accessories, 2 event accessories. Not talking about the Fire event and the Melee event, I'm talking about the Suitor one. Yeah, so 2 Wolf Fang accessories, I think that's pretty decent. You can then exchange the remaining 2 Wolf tokens for subset stones, or you just want one. For the Wolf Fang accessory, we do get ignore defense 750% when attacking. Now this is an insanely buffed up Isabella's Evil Eye. Okay, we don't have this amount on the Evil Eye. I think ours is 500 defense when maxed. So this is a buffed up version, and this is decreased HP by 4000 on basic attack. This is also a buffed up version. Previously we only had 2000, but I don't think this is going to be in effect very well because of Fenrir, because he creates immunity for HP life control, HP control or something like that. So I don't know if this is going to be in effect if he's on the field. And this one is also a buffed up version of Gallaudet Madness. Previously we did 5000 fixed damage, but here it's 8000 fixed damage. So well, that's definitely something I would not mind going for. Okay, take note that you cannot use it as a subset material but only as a main accessory. And then we have other packages. Oh no, not packages, sorry. This is a step up summon for Dark Knight Jewel. We only get the Dark Knight Jewel after 20 pulls, okay, which means it is 5,000 rubies. So if you want to go for this Dark Knight Jewel with 5,000 rubies, that's always something, but that's very expensive, especially knowing that we have a new hero this update. We probably won't get a new hero next update, but you know, 4 weeks from now we will get another new hero, right? So if you think you can earn back these 5,000 rubies in 4 weeks, go ahead. I think it's definitely possible. I mean, I previously shown you guys that I earn about 8,000 at least in 1 week. So this is just going to be a week's worth of ruby farming, but of course pace it depending on your own ruby farming, not mine, right? If you can only earn 1,000 per week, then I don't think this is super worth it, because you are going to make a loss eventually. But if you think that, you know, you can consistently farm 1,000 per week, so that means 4,000 earned, and then you will spend 5,000 here, so your net loss is kind of 1,000 rubies, and you're not too bothered by that 1,000 because you have a lot more rubies, you know, then go ahead, because ultimately a Dark Knight Jewel selector is going to be very game changing for your arena, especially the Survival 1 HP one, which a lot of top tier players use now. Again, that is really to complement with the Berserker ring. So I would say, you know, since we are all getting a Berserker ring, you probably would have gotten one if you did the event territory, which ended already. Getting this Survival 1 HP Dark Knight Jewel is going to be very helpful. So all these are the raid ups, and then we have more packages, and they're finally selling magic crystals. Okay, the time has come. Magic crystals are going to be sold in packages now. So actually I would say that most of the whales and the top tier players already have at least 4 accessories that have double slots. So this is just going to help them a little bit more, I wouldn't say significantly. You can also buy a Fenrir and a Wolfboy selector now. So they are trying to make packages a lot more tempting, I would say. They have to, I mean, to justify the price. So all good. If you like it, you buy it. If you don't buy it. You even have a Suitor and Fenrir ticket. So if you haven't maxed out either one and you are really thinking of getting one, you can get this, I would say, because you even get the Wolfang selected accessory. So I think this is a pretty good deal if you want to max out either one, okay? And then we have more packages. Topaz calendar, if you're short of topaz and you want some quick topaz. Ruby calendar, and then we have Alice gift, power up crystals. Lots of power up crystals actually. And yeah, basically that's it for this update. So not as interesting as previously, the previous update notice. However, I would say that, you know, I am pretty interested in seeing how Fenrir fares, considering that his skill set is entirely flat. Let me know what you guys think of Fenrir's skill set and Gallaudet's remake, and what you do look forward to most in this update in the comments. Stay tuned for the guides that I'll be putting out for this update. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed the update notice video. Thank you so much and see you!